You think the most terrifying thing for a Roman legionary is battle. You're wrong. A battle lasts an hour. Blood, screams, steel, and that's it. And then you go home. But there's something every soldier of the great Roman Empire feared more than 10,000 axe-wielding Gauls. 80% of all deaths on campaign occurred not in battle, not from wounds, not from disease, but in silence, in the dark, when you stand alone with a spear, staring into the Black Forest, every third night, 4 hours straight, without movement, without fire, without room for error. What is this? Night watch, vigilia. Doesn't sound scary? Then listen further, because the Romans turned standing still into a machine of fear, discipline, and death. And if you think your night shift at the supermarket is hard, you don't know what it's like to stand with a spear in Britain, with the temperature dropping below freezing, yellow eyes peering out of the forest, and a centurion with a grapevine behind you, hoping you'll sneeze. Why did every Roman legionary dread the night shift? Not because the enemy was scary, but because the system was designed to make fear work for Rome. Let's take it step by step. It's evening, the camp is built, you've eaten your spelt soup, you dream of sleep, and then the centurion calls out a list. 4 names, 4 unfortunate ones. You hear yours. Your heart sinks, because you know, today you won't sleep. Today you go to the vigilia, the first watch, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., or the second, from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., or the third, most terrifying, from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., 3 shifts, 4 hours each, 8 soldiers per tent. Each one is assigned to duty every third night. That's 120 nights a year without proper sleep. 120. But it's not the lack of sleep, it's how you stand. You step outside the palisade, into the ditch. Your place is between 2 stakes, 30 meters from the next sentry. You are alone. Your weapon is a pilum, not a sword, because a sword is for close combat, and a spear is for keeping the enemy within 3 meters. Your shield is on your left hand. Your helmet is on your head. Your armor is on your body. The entire weight of Rome is on your shoulders, and you don't move. Not a step, not a sound, not a cough, not a sneeze, not a turn of the head. You stand like a statue for 4 hours, because movement is light. Light is purpose. Purpose is death. But how do you keep from freezing? How do you keep from falling asleep? How do you keep from going mad from the silence? The Romans thought of that, too. First, your pennular cloak, thick, oiled, knee-length. It keeps the wind out, but it doesn't warm you by itself. You warm yourself. Micro-movements. You shift your weight from heel to toe. You clench your fingers inside your gloves. You clench your jaw. You count in your head. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Every micro-movement is life. Second, your eyes. You stare at one point, straight ahead, but you see everything out of your peripheral vision. If something moves to the left, you don't turn your head. You shift your gaze. The enemy mustn't see the glint of your cheek guards. Shine is death. Thirdly, your ears. You hear every branch, every stone, every breath. You hear the forest like you've never heard it before. And that's what drives recruits crazy, because there's always someone in the forest. Sometimes it's a deer, sometimes it's the wind, sometimes it's a barbarian with a knife, and you won't know what it is until he's 3 meters away. And now, the stakes. What if you can't take it? If you sneeze, the centurion will hear. Yes, he's inside the camp. Yes, behind the palisade. Yes, 50 meters away. He'll hear, and you'll get hit in the face with a grapevine. Not in the back, in the face. So you'll remember, if you sit down on the ground, even for a second, you'll be seen from the rampart, and you'll get more than one blow. You'll get a shift change for tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, and the whole week. If you fall asleep standing up, it's fustuarium, death by sticks. Your comrades will beat you to death, because one sleepy sentry is 8 dead in a tent. Rome does not forgive, but there is something more terrible than punishment. The enemy. The barbarians knew about night watches. They knew that sentries changed every 4 hours. They knew that the third shift, from 2 to 6 in the morning, is when a person sleeps the deepest, even standing. And they chose precisely this time. You stand. Your eyelids grow heavy. You begin to hallucinate. You think the tree is moving. You blink. You open your eyes. And there's no one in front of you. Only silence. And then, a scream. Not yours. From the neighboring post, 30 meters away. You don't run to help. You don't move. You stand still. Because if you run, your section of the wall will be left open, and the enemy will enter there. You hear your comrade die. You don't see it. You only hear the metal, the wet sound, and then silence. You continue to stand, because it's your duty, your discipline. The Romans didn't fear night guard duty because they were cowards. They feared it because they knew the cost of a mistake. Compare this with the army of Alexander the Great. They didn't have regular night guards. They relied on patrols of light infantry, who often fell asleep in the bushes, and at night, their camps were vulnerable. Or with Viking, the Romans didn't build fortified camps at all. They slept wherever they could, and woke up with their throats already slit. The Romans devised a system. The system worked, but it cost them their nerves. And here's the main secret you've been waiting for. Why did a legionnaire fear duty most of all? Not death, not punishment, but the fact that after duty, he had to go into battle, in the morning, right away, without sleep, without breakfast, without the right to fatigue, because the enemy often attacked at dawn, at the very moment when the third shift was just ending and the tired sentries were returning to the tent. You stand for 4 hours. You're frozen. You haven't slept. You heard your friend die. You return to the tent. You take off your armor. You close your eyes. And 5 minutes later, the bucina sounds. The alarm. The enemy is at the gates. You put your armor back on. You take up your shield again. And you go into battle, on an empty stomach, with bent legs, with eyes that see spots. And you fight. You win. Because Rome doesn't ask if you've had enough sleep. So, the answer to the riddle. Why did every Roman legionnaire dread night shifts? Not because the enemy was scary, but because fear was part of the system. The Romans didn't try to make shifts comfortable. They deliberately made them unbearable. So you'd hate them. So you'd fear them. So you do everything to make your shift perfect. Because only a perfect shift gave you a chance to survive. 4 hours, 0 mistakes, 1 life, and in the morning, another fight. And now the question I promised you. If you can't stand on your feet for 2 hours without a phone, how would you survive 4 hours in the dark, with a spear, in the rain, knowing that every move meant death? Tell us in the comments how many minutes you could have lasted. And subscribe, because in the next video, I'll tell you how Roman legionnaires went to the bathroom in their armor during night duty. Spoiler, they didn't, and it changed everything. Don't miss it.